Welcome to June 20th edition of Kevali Channeling Presents. I am privileged to have Kim Wilkinson join us. Kim, welcome to Kevali Channeling Presents. So Kim and I have never really met. We talked for maybe 30 seconds before we went live. So we're just going to jump right into it. Kim, what is the name of your company? Empowered Life. And where did that name come from? Oh, okay. It kind of suits what you do. Yeah, from the little bit that I've seen, it really resonates. So you say you've had your business 8, 9 years. What started it? Like, what made you decide? You know what? I'm going to go into the spirituality and go in full force. We have an hour, so it could be a long story. Oh, hold on, Kim. Kim, I'm going to get you to hold on because they're saying they can't hear you. Why can't they hear you? I'm going to stop sharing the screen and I can hear you fine. I'm trying to figure out why they can't. Maybe if I did that and then, and it's people know me. It's technical stuff, and Kevin too. Oh, is it? There we go. Okay, now let's try it now. Can people hear? Try it again, Kim.
Can people hear me now?
I'm going to just message the boss downstairs.
Okay.
Can you hear her now?
Hopefully it's working.
Hopefully.
It's technology. If not, I can try taking my earbuds out, but if you can hear me,
I can hear you. It's on my
working.
It's on my end, so
okay.
Let's wait. Facebook is a little bit behind when we're doing a
It
Zoom.
is. That's true.
Okay, they can hear you now.
Yay!
Hi! So welcome back.
All right.
Anybody that's ever seen me do one of my shows, they know I'm technically challenged. So just get over it. I'm technically challenged. I figured it out. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go back because I had just said the name of your company is?
It's Empowered Life.
Empowered Life, and you've been doing that for about 8 years, you say?
Yeah, about 8 or 9 years now.
Nice. And where did it start? Where did the whole? Basically, give me your journey in a nutshell.
Okay, my journey in a nutshell. Well, I didn't do any of this before in my old life, which is still this life, but yeah. I worked in municipal government in the recreation defense. So, and I had a really good career there. I managed to get to a senior level, manager. And on the side, I often did teach, boot camps and spin classes and that sort of thing. The first time I did yoga, wasn't really a fan. I was, definitely that person that had monkey mind. I had, just so much going on, laying in Shavasana at the end of class and thinking, how long do we lay here? And does anybody fall asleep? And what am I going to make for supper when I get home? And, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't go back to yoga after that for many years. And then, I just decided one day to try this hot yoga class because it was a big thing, still is.
Yes.
But, and I loved it. I fell in love with it and I became, addicted to hot yoga. Never, ever, ever did I think I would want to teach yoga. I still like teaching the high impact stuff. And, in my career in municipal government, I just found I was at the point where, I was sitting at a desk a lot. I just wasn't feeling like I was where I was supposed to be anymore.
Okay.
And all of a sudden I thought, you know what, I think I am going to become a yoga teacher.
Why not?
And yeah. And I remember coming home and I did my yoga teacher training, and I came home and I said to my husband, I said, I think I'm going to quit my, $95,000 a year job and be a yoga teacher. And he went, oh, okay. Do you think that's a good idea? And I said, oh yeah, it'll all work out.
Can we sit and chat really about this a little bit?
Yeah, no, I just did it. And, it really was the best thing I ever did. And, but I trusted in it. I trusted in myself, and I had a lot of faith. There's another story where that came from that I can share later. But that really was what opened the door, because teaching yoga led to meditation and Reiki and a few other different types of energy healing. And so I, went from, when I started my business, it was just teaching yoga. I was teaching anywhere from 15 to 20 classes a week, which is a lot.
That is a lot. Wow.
And then I brought in the Reiki, and then I started to let go of some of the yoga. And then, like I said, I just became this, spiritual course junkie. Like, I couldn't learn enough. And I'm still very much that way, even though I teach a lot of different things. I'm always taking courses or trainings as well. But I really, when I look back, I can see how there was very significant purpose for me to change that path for a number of reasons. First of all, it brought me to a place where, I had a lot of great tools to help with, self-care and stress management and that sort of thing. Like many people, I was married, had kids, divorced, remarried, blended family, which that has, its own stresses.
Oh, of course.
And then my youngest son, Tristan, really struggled with a lot of mental health and addictions, and we lost him to overdose in 2019.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I appreciate that.
Wow.
Today I say it has been my greatest tragedy and also my greatest gift, because it really brought me to where I am today. And again, I look back and I feel like, all of what I learned and what I was teaching was what I needed to, help me heal from his loss. And even just through the, there was about a 4-year struggle there with just lots of things going on, obviously, before we actually got to his death. And then after that is when I really dove into studying grief recovery and trauma. And I studied under the Grief Recovery Institute, and I had the pleasure of studying under Dr. Gabor Mate. If you're familiar with him, he's a brilliant, brilliant man, trauma expert. And it just, it brought me to a place where after my son died, I dove deep into my own healing, even though I'd been kind of doing that along the way. What I realized is I went into healing the loss from him and realized there was still a whole bunch of other things that I didn't even realize that needed healing.
Wow.
And I really believe the combination of, healing our past or trauma healing and a spiritual practice go hand in hand, because, having a spiritual practice really helps you to move through the grief and trauma healing.
Yes.
And when you clear that, it opens up so much more spiritually.
Wow. To hear somebody, I mean, I have 2 kids myself, 29 and 26. So I'm going to try to do this without getting emotional, but I can't imagine the sorrow or the heartache of losing a child. I've had 3 friends now, same situation you're in. And I can understand where you're coming from. Knowing what I know now, um, I don't think I was gonna use the words it would make it easier, and I don't think that's the proper wording I need to say, but I would have the coping mechanisms better than I
Yeah,
would prior to, I hate this word, but my spiritual awakening, because I think it gets overused. Um, so hats off to you. I mean, to be able to
thank
say
you.
it was your biggest tragedy, but also your greatest gift is just amazing. Um, I'm going to take you back though. I'm going to
Yeah,
take
for
you
sure.
back. So when you started your yoga, were you
Mhm.
spiritual at that point?
No,
No.
no, I was still going to yoga for the workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you started teaching yoga, you still hadn't entered your spiritual journey, the start of your spiritual journey.
It may have started, but it was very, very fresh and very still very closed, if maybe that's the right word. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
believed, but you weren't going to tell anybody believe
Yeah.
because people
I
are going to
mean,
point and laugh at you going, what are you talking about, Kim?
yeah. I mean, I knew some stuff, but I didn't know the stuff that I know now.
Exactly. So your first spiritual course, what did you take? Like you started teaching yoga, then you took Reiki?
Yes. Then I became a Reiki practitioner. I'm also a Reiki master now.
Oh
That
wow.
really, I would say the Reiki is what really kind of helped me to realize that I was intuitive.
Right. Yeah, okay. That would
So
make
that's
sense.
where that piece really came in. And then I believe the next big training I did was my 200-hour meditation teacher training. And that helped me to kind of, go a little deeper.
See, that's something I want to
And
delve into so much for myself is the
yeah,
meditation. It's I think
it's
if
so powerful.
everybody learned how to meditate properly and actually meditated, the world would be such a better place.
Yeah, I think that's honestly what has been my biggest. I do say the two things, yoga and meditation, and they're really the same thing in my mind, because I don't view yoga anymore as a workout. I view it as this practice that brings us, into present moment, into this connection of mind and body, which yoga means union, right? It's that practice that detaches us from all the other
I have so
distractions
many
and gets
clients
us
that
present.
teach yoga and they've said those exact same words is yoga is a spiritual experience. It's not going to the gym and working out experience. It's actually a spiritual experience if taught correctly.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is
Yoga actually came from meditation.
well,
Yeah,
yeah, isn't that where that's the origins of it, is it not?
exactly. The actual, practice of being on your mat. I mean, there's 8 limbs to yoga, or 8, sections, if you want to think of it that way. And the
I was like,
asana,
I
which
only
is
have
the
4 limbs. I
practice.
can't do yoga.
Yeah.
I don't have 8.
Yeah. That's just one of 8 components of yoga, the physical practice.
Oh, very
There's
cool.
7 other areas of focus or practice of yoga,
I have a
but
feeling
not a
you
lot
and
of
I
people
could
understand
talk
that
an hour and a half just on yoga.
easily.
And it was funny because yoga, I always kind of looked at yoga and went, I should start going to a yoga class. And I'm going way before I took one of Ken Lewicki's courses. I played poker and I saw a lot of poker pros taking taking yoga classes. And I was like,
Oh, okay.
interesting. Why? Now, fast forward 10 years later, I'm like, of course they did. That's like you say, that's a meditation, a way to focus,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if you know poker at all, poker is it's a very mindful game. So it would make sense. Um, so you took your Reiki. Do you also, but you channel?
Yeah, I mostly do a lot of connecting with spirit, angels, and
Yeah.
I do sometimes get loved ones past come in, but I get all sorts of very interesting messages that come through. sometimes more than others.
Because
But,
I mean, obviously, I'm a channeler. That's what I do. So
yeah.
I channel spirit guides and I channel loved ones from the other side. So when we first started, obviously, your guides came through. And that's how I conduct a lot of my, I hate saying the word interviews. That's why I always refer to them as chats, is from guides because they
Mhm.
direct me. They're like, no, ask this question. But they didn't let me know. I'm kind of looking back at them going, about your son, which was like, that would have been good information to have. um, so teaching yoga, you do you still teach yoga?
I do. Yeah, I teach about anywhere from 6 to 8 classes a week.
And then on top of that, you do spiritual healing or energy. I'll call it energy healing.
Yeah, I do a lot of things. So I do Reiki sessions. I do spiritual coaching, trauma group recovery coaching. So I do one-on-one stuff. I do group stuff, both in person and online. I do tarot readings.
Oh
I do
my.
retreats. I feel like there's something else, but yeah, I mean anything to do with health and healing
You're
and
you're like that
spirituality.
guru. Yeah, they're making me feel like they want to really go into trauma healing. You actually offer that as a service to people. Who
Hmm.
better than someone who's been through it? Um, how do people get in touch with you for that? And I know we usually do this at the end, but I'm being prompted that we need to get that out
Yeah.
there now.
So my website is empoweredlifenow.net, and I'm on Facebook, Empowered Life with Kim Wilkinson, and my personal profile is on there, Kim Wilkinson. Those are probably the easiest ways to connect with me.
And
And of course, my
do you do
email is
in
there.
person or is it Zoom?
I do both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What do you
I
find
do
most?
both.
Are you in the Calgary area?
I'm in Edmonton.
Oh, you're in Edmonton. Okay. Do you find more
Yeah.
people want to do in person, or do people prefer Zoom more?
I get a combination of both, and sometimes it depends on the service. I mean, one of the most recent things that I've been offering to, since we are back to a lot more in person,
Yes.
I also do cacao ceremonies,
A
which is
witch?
cacao
you
ceremony. So
you kick a cow? What are you doing, Kim?
all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah.
It's a plant medicine. Like, it's different than cocoa. Cacao it's just different in the way it's processed, but it is like a raw chocolate, but processed differently. So, but it's a plant medicine. Legal, not like, mushrooms or ayahuasca where it gives you that psychedelic high,
Right.
but it is a plant medicine that we make a hot beverage of and consume it. And it is a heart opener. It helps to release dopamine in the
Oh,
body, which is the basically the happy hormone,
yes.
and it's really helpful in healing and opening up or expanding our consciousness. So I do group ceremonies, but I also do a one-on-one where it's a 90-minute session, and the first half hour is a private cacao ceremony, and then I move them into a Reiki session, basically.
Oh, very cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
it's a lovely, lovely session.
Awesome. And then you kind
Yeah.
of just brushed over it saying that you do retreats. And of course, that's how for one of the first things I saw when I friended Kim on Facebook, because a suggestion came up as a friend, and anybody who knows me on Facebook, I just friend everybody because that's what I do.
Me too.
It's like, oh, friend, okay. And
Yeah.
you came on, it was a video of you talking about a retreat to Thailand. And that's
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
October, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Tell people about oh my goodness, a trip to Thailand. It's a retreat. What kind of a retreat is it?
It's I call it a yoga adventure retreat with more emphasis on the adventure. So I've been, this will be my 5th time to Thailand, and have done all of these activities before. So I'm offering, and of course with COVID we didn't travel for 2 years, so I'm so excited to get back.
No doubt.
And so I'm offering an option of a 2-week or a 3-week retreat. And so our first week, we start up in Chiang Mai in the northern part of Thailand. And the full first week that we're there is at a place called the Elephant Nature Park, which is a sanctuary for not only elephants, but they have a herd of water buffalo and horses and like hundreds of dogs and cats and probably
Oh
some more
my
animals since
goodness.
I've been there last.
Allison,
Yeah, and
Allison, this is a message to you. No. We just booked a cruise. No elephants. Okay, carry on. She loves elephants. So
well, yeah, they're amazing, amazing animals. So yeah, we spend a full week, on site, sleeping there, eating there. We do chores to help out because there's a lot involved in, feeding them and taking care of them and that sort of thing.
so you actually work with the elephants?
We do. Yeah.
Oh, how cool
Yeah,
is that?
we're right out in the field with them. We're bathing them in the river. We're helping to, unload and prepare their food and all sorts of things. So that's a full week of that. And then we have our 2-week people join us, and we do we'll do a little bit of yoga while we're there, and some meditation. And then we do a 2-day trek into the jungle. And when I say trek, we're just going about, maybe 1.5 kilometers, 2 kilometers a day. So not super far.
Okay. Yeah.
But beautiful, like in the jungle. We stay overnight with the Hill Tribe people. We get up the next day. We do another hike to another place. And then there's 2 elephants there that we get to interact with again and, bathe them in the river and just hang out with them. We spend the night there, and then we bamboo raft out back into the city of Chiang Mai. And, we have some time to see the temples and hit the local shops and enjoy all the good food and the $10 massages and all that great stuff. And then we fly south to the island of Koh Phangan, and we spend a week there, doing some yoga, enjoying the beach, some snorkeling, some more massages and good food and all of that great stuff.
Very
seeing
cool.
the culture. Yeah. And then we end up back in Bangkok for a couple of days, and then everybody's heading home, and I'm going to stay a little longer.
Good for you. Mm-hmm. And you've done this, what you say, 5 times?
This will be my 5th time back to Thailand.
That is exciting. That is very, very cool.
Great place.
Is it okay if we talk pricing on that?
Yeah, if I can remember pricing.
Sorry, and I'm kind of throwing this at you, so.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
You can look it up if you need to.
Yeah, it's totally on my website, but I think if I remember right, the 3-week is $29.99, and the 2-week is $24.99. That's not including the international flight. Okay. But everything else. And for those who can't join in October, it's happening again in March, the exact same
very cool.
itinerary.
Very, very cool. Yeah. Now, I've never been to Thailand. So weather in Thailand in October compared to and March, what can they expect?
Well, here's what I'll say. And this is something that a Thai man said to me on my first trip there. He said, Thailand has 2 seasons, hot and effing hot. And it's awesome. True. There is a reason there, but I've been there. It's beautiful. There are times when it might rain while we're there, but it can come in, rain, and then it's gone.
Oh, nice.
But it's hot, it's humid, it's beautiful.
So can old fat guys go on this? Like this 2-week or this journey into the jungle isn't like for the young, fit, gonna climb Mount Everest tomorrow kind of people?
No, it's a little bit hilly, but again, there's no rush. We stop and rest if anybody needs to rest.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And then you say it's like a kilometer or 2 kilometers a day?
Yeah.
Oh, that's doable for most people,
totally
I would think.
Doable.
Very cool. Yeah. And do you have other retreats that you put on as well besides the Thailand ones?
Yeah. I just finished one this past weekend just north of Edmonton at Riverside Acres, and it was magical. Nice little weekend retreat. Doing that same retreat in September, just north of Edmonton again. And then next May, I've got one in Spain. And then I'm planning for next October 2023 to head to Bali.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is like something that you do on a regular basis. This is what Kim does. This is her thing. Yeah,
plan to keep doing it more, especially now that travel's opening up.
Well, yeah.
Again, so
you?
And with everything being, or so much being online, I can still do coaching with clients either in group or
I guess so.
one-on-one as long as I have an internet connection.
That's
right?
true. Yeah, you can work. Yeah, I always tell people if I could win the lottery, I would still do readings, except I wouldn't be in Airdrie. I'll be in Mexico.
Yep.
It's
Exactly.
still doing the same thing. As long as I have internet, I'm good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we talked about a session that a typical session with you with the cacao. Did I say that right? I had to make
cacao.
sure. I had to make sure I didn't say kick the cow. Cacao. Is that a typical session with you? Like if someone was to book a session, they just want a healing session with you. Is that a typical session that you would suggest?
Probably the most common one I do, like just a regular energy healing. What I would do is I work with a combination of connecting with spirit, again, working with the angels and guides and ascended masters. I kind of combine a bit of meditation, music, and then of course the Reiki. But sometimes I start by just having people even just sit in a chair. And, we start by, again, bringing in spirit. I have them repeat some prayer or affirmation statements. And then I use very specific music to help. Really, music is so healing and words are so powerful, as you know, right?
Yes.
So sometimes music can really, dig down and pull to the surface stuff that we don't even realize is there. And I do this for myself too. Like I've cleared a lot, and I've gone to several other intuitive healers who, they kind of channel and they're like, you're clear. There's always stuff. We have ancestral stuff we can clear, but I really do feel like I've cleared so much. There's not a lot that really bothers me or upsets me. I don't get anxiety. Really, I'm just in such a good place. But I still do this for myself. Sometimes I'll sit down and do my morning gratitude and prayers, and I will just listen to certain songs. And there was one Monday morning, about a month or so ago, I did this, and I just bawled for, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And I didn't even know what I was crying about, but it was just a releasing.
Yes,
right? And
yes.
sometimes that's what we need to do. And there's lots of different ways that we can release. Everything is energy. And emotions are really just energy too, right? And all of our past stuff that we have suppressed, it's energy, and we need to move it. So, crying is a way of releasing. Sighing, which we do so naturally. Our body knows how to heal itself.
Yes.
The key is to come back to your body, and that's where we come back to yoga, right?
Oh,
so many of us are detached, right? We're detached from our body. Our body is full of wisdom. And our body is always trying to tell us, what's happening. Triggers, for example, this is something that I learned from Dr. Gabor Mate, that I just love this explanation. I think in society, a lot of people think triggers are a bad word, right? And don't trigger him or don't trigger her. Oh my gosh, I've been triggered, right? And we view them as a bad thing, where he explains that, triggers are actually a really beautiful, wonderful thing, because all they are is an energy or a sensation in the body that's trying to get our attention to direct us to what needs to be healed.
Oh, yeah.
But we've kind of been taught that, when we're triggered, oh my God, don't
trigger me.
But feel
Don't
the pain,
ever do
right?
that again, because it triggered me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And we just distract from it instead of turning into it, going, okay, what do you need to show me? It's like, oh, reach for the bottle of wine, or reach for the food, or binge Netflix, or go to the gym and work out for 2 hours. Right?
And you named like the three things that I hear most from people, that's how they deal with whatever they want to call it: anxiety, stress, the world. They shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We disconnect.
That's it. Yeah.
Whereas, as you know, ascension is going inwards.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
Now
you have to go in to peel the layers.
You took all kinds of courses. It's just, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody that's just taken as many courses as you have. You mentioned that you took a 200-hour relaxation course.
A meditation teacher training.
Meditation. If someone was to ask you in a bottle cap in a 30-second or minute or two, what is meditation? Because a lot of people misunderstand, I think,
Yeah.
misunderstand what meditation should be and what it's used for.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are a lot of different ways to meditate, but really it's a process or a tool to, quiet the mind and to bring your attention to present or to single pointed awareness, right? It's not about necessarily not having any thoughts. I mean, if you get to that place, great, but maybe it's just simply focusing on your breath, because your mind can only think of one thing at a time. Oftentimes we're like, oh my gosh, there's a million things going on in my mind, and
But it's all
but
happening
what's
one at a
happening,
time.
it's like, exactly, right? But if you focus on one thing, like your breath, inhale, exhale, you can't think about those other things. And if you're thinking about something else, you stop focusing on your breath.
Right.
So, even breathing exercises can be just a simple practice to help you to start to focus on one thing and maintain your focus on that one thing.
Okay.
And just get still and be present, right? Because otherwise we're in the past or we're in the future. It's only here that we're present, right? And that's the only thing that's real. The past doesn't exist, and the future doesn't exist.
Exactly. I have told my clients that so many times. It's like, the past has already happened. We can't change it.
Yeah.
The future hasn't happened yet. All we can do is concentrate on what we're doing at 7:34 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And there's nothing else that truly, really matters.
Yeah. And people will say, well, I need to think about the future to plan it. And I get that to a point, but it's what you do in the now that determines your future. So you really have to be present.
Oh my goodness. The average person, how long does it take an average person to really, I'm not going to say master, but learn how to meditate?
Well, it depends on one thing, and I'll tell you what it is. It's consistency.
Okay.
You have to be consistent, right? That means daily. And it doesn't have to be sit down and meditate 2 hours a day. It can be 5 minutes every day. And I mean, I rode that roller coaster where, I would be consistent for a while. And of course, life is good and there's no stress and everything. And you miss a day and I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll do it tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, there's tension in your relationships, or you're not feeling well, or extra bills start coming in, and it's like, what is going on? Oh yeah, I stopped doing the work, right? That's my thing, is do the work. That's the phrase I say most. You got to do the work and keep doing the work, and then I would come back to meditation and everything would be good, and I'd stay there for a while, and then I would fall off for a bit. And then about probably 3 years now ago, I guess, I just committed to every day. And I will say, maybe once a month I have a day where I miss.
Okay.
And it's usually because there's a lot going on or something, but I really do try to be consistent.
And how long,
I prefer
when you
to do
say
it in the
every
morning.
day, how long do you meditate every day?
Sometimes it is just 5 or 10 minutes. If I don't have a lot going on in the day, there's sometimes I go into meditation and it's like, this is so good, I could just stay here, and then I actually find myself saying, yeah, I should probably go and, wash the floor, or I should probably go make supper, but I just want to stay here.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
Not always. There are days when, it is hard to distract, but even to start with just simple breathing exercises, for 5 minutes a day, just taking that time. I know one of the other benefits, and I've read and I've heard, and I believe that, 20 minutes of meditation can be more restful than a full night's sleep sometimes.
Oh, wow.
And I can honestly say there's times where I'm tired and I will sit and meditate. And sometimes my meditation looks like this. I start here and then I'm down here. I've kind of fallen asleep, and I slowly bring myself up, and but when I'm done, when I come out of that 10 or 20 minutes later, I feel so much better. I feel like I actually slept 8 hours.
Oh, nice. Now, I know a lot of people like to meditate just before they go to bed. Is that the best time to meditate?
time is a good time other than when you're driving.
Yes.
What I suggest, first thing in the morning is great for the fact that it allows you to kind of set the tone for your day, right? Like if you take some time to get calm, to feel in control, to remind yourself of those things like, I can't control what's going on out here. I can only control this. And, you prepare yourself so that if something does pop up, you can hopefully approach it from a more calm state than an already agitated state.
Yes.
Right. And at the end of the day, it's a great way to kind of decompress the mind so you don't crawl into bed and just start thinking about all these things, right? You can take some time to let them go, get calm, and then go to sleep.
That makes sense.
Both is ideal, but any time is great.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of touched, or you kind of mentioned what you do during a healing session. You call on angels and archangels and ascended masters, and we people in the spiritual community just rattle off these things. And I know there's going to be people watching this, if not now, later, from my past, which is a very political past, who are going, they do what? Can you touch on that? If someone who wasn't in the spiritual community asked you, and you say you talk to archangels and angels?
I get all sorts of things coming through lately.
It's been really weird.
I'm actually my second book. Well, I have a couple books, but I'm going to be doing a follow-up book to my first full book, and it's going to be all of these stories about.
We're 40 minutes into a discussion, and you just told me you wrote books.
I co-authored. I was part of a anthology called Thriving. What is it called? Thriving Beyond Crisis. It's all, we each have a chapter. There's several of us that have a chapter in this book. And that was a really great experience. And then I wrote my own book. It's just a little book. I call it my little book with a big message, but it's basically the story with my son. It's called Overdose, a mother's journey from suffering to empowerment. And, it just touches a little bit on, I really wanted people to understand, or to see beyond stigma of addiction, that, addiction can happen to anybody.
Yes.
We could be the best parents in the world. Our kids are still going to struggle, or we're going to struggle. And it was really to show, just lack of understanding, but also to give hope, hopefully, for people to see that, even though I had this tragedy, I'm in such a good place now because I did the work. And I just wanted to let people know, if you do the work, healing can happen. And not only can you heal, but like I said, it opens up so much more. And that's where I'm going to write another book, the follow-up. That was suffering to empowerment. And this next one is really empowerment to enlightenment.
Oh, okay.
But I have so many stories that I'm going to share. But a lot of it is just these powerful, channeling sessions or synchronicities and shifts. There's just so many, they need to go in a book.
Such an important message, I think, especially right now as we come out of this pandemic that we've gone through. Mental health has been, I think, overlooked, I'll say, during the pandemic. Humans weren't meant to isolate the way we did. And then to come out of that, and all of a sudden, we're supposed to be normal. And I think a message like yours is, especially that book that you just talked about, the little book with a big message. I think that's one we need to make sure people have access to. Where can they buy that book? Where can they purchase that book?
It's available on Amazon,
awesome.
or through Chapters. I'll be doing some book signings here in Edmonton.
I should have known this. Yes, I saw that you were book signing.
Yeah. So, and the proceeds from the book all go into a fund that I use because a lot of people who could benefit from the programs and the coaching that I do can't afford it. So I use that to either cover the cost or at least give discounts. So
Wow.
yeah, if
That is
nothing,
special.
buying the book, even if you don't read it, if you're buying the book, you're helping, it could even be helping save a life.
Wow.
I've worked with some people who have struggled with mental health and addictions through the programs, and to see their healing is so empowering. Some of them are become teachers of my programs, which is just so fantastic.
Very cool. So you're not just helping people who have had a loss, but you're there to help people before there's a loss.
Yeah, I really am big on prevention as well. And the prevention piece is just breaking the cycle, right? I didn't realize how much generational trauma that we have. And trauma doesn't have to be these horrific events either. That's the other misunderstanding we have. Trauma comes from, our basic needs in childhood not being met, not feeling safe, loved, heard, belong. And sometimes those needs aren't met, not intentionally, but as parents, we only know what we know. And I'm the first one to say, if I knew 25 years ago what I know now, I would have parented way different.
Isn't that the truth? My kids are 29
different.
and 26, and I have said it to both of them now, is, man, I wish I knew now I could go back and redo a lot of things, because, man, we screwed up.
Yeah, totally.
We really did.
But not intentionally, right?
No, it's
not
because that's what we were taught.
Yeah. And, our parents just did what they did too.
I mean,
you only know
back
what you know.
3 or 4 generations now, and my goodness, what they did compared to what is acceptable now is, let's face it, they used to beat children back then. That was a normal thing. I mean, my mom, she had the wooden spoon. That was an acceptable punishment, quotation marks. Nowadays, that would be unheard of.
We just didn't realize the damage we were creating.
Well,
right?
yeah.
It's like, trying to fix one problem, but creating 5 others.
So is there an age limit where you will, for a child to come see you? Do you have?
I don't typically work with young children.
Yeah.
If a parent did come, the best way is, if you want to heal your kids, heal yourself. So the best way to help the kids is for the parents to heal themselves. And it's about like I said, breaking that generational trauma. Right. And I saw a quote a few weeks ago that just was so powerful, and I believe it, and it basically said, if we can carry generational trauma, which we know, we can also heal, right? Ancestral healing. And I really, COVID, I think it was a wonderful, I was very frustrated with COVID too, but it was needed, and it gave us the opportunity. It really forced a lot of people to go, you know what? Yeah, maybe I'm not okay. Maybe I have been pretending or just distracting. And it forced people to, I'm going to say, sit in their shit.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
and
100%.
It really, I think it was needed. There's just huge shift happening right now, and just, energetically, spiritually, it's this evolution, this ascension thing. And, we're seeing it in nature, all these fires and floods we've been having in the past few years. Like, there's a rebirthing happening, and it's a good thing.
Yes.
It's messy and it can be painful, but it's so necessary, and it's going to be so beautiful and healing if we stop resisting it.
Well, and it's funny that you say there's a big shift happening. I notice it with people coming for sessions with myself, where it's a lot of practitioners coming to me, or people who are looking to become practitioners in the spiritual community. And in my head, I keep thinking back, I was going to say mid-50s, and my guides always go, no, you're not, you're late. Okay, I'm in my late 50s. But I remember back when I was a young adult, chiropractors, massage therapists, they were the voodoo of the medical profession. Right. Now, fast forward decades later, they're mainstream. That's a normal thing. Everybody goes to a chiropractor. Everybody goes for massage therapy, acupuncture, etc. What I'm seeing now is a big shift moving to spiritual practice, whether
Absolutely.
or energy healing, I guess, would be the umbrella over everything. Are
Yeah.
you seeing the same thing?
Absolutely. And I'm seeing shifts in communities, right? These new smaller communities are being built. And then I see them, they're starting to come together to create, bigger communities. And, like you have your community. I know Ken Wiki has his community. I have my community. There's so many of us, but we're all kind of, we're crossing over, we're coming together.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Are you coming to the July 2nd expo?
I am. I
I've
will
been
be
I've
there.
been
I have
helping
a
Ken
booth.
organize this.
I know you have.
I didn't put the 2 and 2 together till a second ago.
Yeah.
What? What are you going to be? Okay, July 2nd Expo. I just kind of threw that out there. Spirituality is Fun Expo in Canmore on July 2nd. What are you going to be offering there?
So I'm going to be doing tarot readings. I do charm casting too. I combine the charms with my tarot readings, so I do a little bit different. So I'm going to be doing tarot charm readings.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you. Sorry. You do what casting? You do what?
Charm casting. So charms. I don't have them handy, but like little charms that you would have on bracelets.
Yeah, the bracelet. Yeah.
So there's messages in charms, right? So like an anchor charm would represent like safety, or could be about being stuck. A bird charm would represent, say, freedom. So yeah, I use charms with the cards to get more detail in the reading.
Ken just messaged us on the chat and he goes, yes, Kim has a booth there and is doing readings. I'm like, well, thanks, Ken. Thanks for letting me know. I told Ken that I was doing a reading with Kim. He never connected those dots either with me.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's hilarious. So you're going to be doing tarot readings. Are you going to have your books there?
I'm going to have my books there. Yeah. Awesome. And I'm going to have some information about a new program that's launching, that Ken's actually going to be one of the guest teachers in this. We're launching a new online mystery school. As you were talking, we were saying, everybody's being drawn to kind of spirituality and these practices. So as I said, I've taken all these different courses all over, like I haven't even named half of them that I've taken, but my guides, everything I do comes through meditation. Yes. And it's all divinely guided, but I'm going to launch this program that starts in September and runs until May. And it's all online. It's called the Empowered Life Mystery School. And it's everything spiritual and divination. So it's everything from learning meditation, accessing Akashic records, how to do tarot readings, charm reading, runes, tea leaf reading, channeling. What else have I got in there? A bit of apothecary. There's a few more things. Wow. Each month there's kind of a different topic, and there's guest teachers. It's all online.
And this is once a month?
It's every month. Yeah. It's so the full month. So, but every month I'll do one live coaching session on Zoom with the students. And then those who decide to go on to year 2, which will go deeper into the content and will give students a certification as a spiritual empowerment coach. So I'll have information about that there. But yeah, I'm really excited about that.
That is huge, Kim.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Like I said, it came in meditation to do this. And it's just this one-stop shop.
Yes, and that's where people ask me all the time, where can I go? And I'm like, I know Ken does channeling. I know this person does Akashic Records. I know Alana does this. If it's all in one package.
Yeah.
What wow.
Yeah. So
I got goosebumps on my goosebumps.
Being online, anybody can access it. And then, like I said, year 1 is kind of the intro. So it's really, year 1 is designed for anybody who wants to learn these things for themselves, or, for people who are already doing healing or coaching to have more in their toolbox.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, year 2, for anybody who wants the certification as a spiritual empowerment coach, they get, more detail and then training, and so, and it'll run every year. So the deadline to register is September 15th. After that, you got to wait till next year when it runs again.
So it's just like a school year.
Exactly. Yeah. September to May.
Okay.
And the first year I'm running it at 50% off. So it's only $3.99 for the first year.
For the full per month or for the full year?
For the full year. Yeah. And but then next year it'll be $6.99, which is still a great value.
I was going to say, my goodness, you're
Yeah.
oh, I got goosebumps on my goosebumps, because I just love when I meet somebody who's in this business for the right. Oh, I'm banging my desk because I get so passionate about it. They're in it for the right reasons.
I do what they tell me.
I find there's so many people out there that are in it because they think they can get rich quick. And I've had them come to me and I'm like, no, that's not the way this works.
Yeah.
I'm going to delve into the school. I know we only got about 7 minutes, but I'm going to delve into the school thing because that excites me. So
yeah,
it's once a month you will have a Zoom meeting with your students.
Yeah. So basically, when they register, so it's like an online school. They get a login. They can log in and out anytime, every day if they want.
Yeah.
So all of September's content will be released September 1st. They can work through it at their own pace. There'll be pre-recorded videos, there'll be things they can read, exercises they can do. And then every third Tuesday of the month will be a Zoom call, and it'll be recorded in case they can't join. And then, October 1st, the new content opens up.
Nice.
And then November 1st, the new content opens up, right? So it's work at your own pace to a sense. And then, like I said, there'll be guest teachers, and also in there, at the start of the program I've called it a directory / online shop. And that's where the different guest teachers or, people who sell, because we're talking about crystals, we're talking about tarot cards. So anybody who sells that sort of stuff will be listed there. So the students can also just have a full list of, okay, I want to buy crystals. Where do I buy them from? I want to order some cards, right? So there'll be a directory.
And so they're going to be reputable people that I'll call it Kim endorsed.
Yeah, exactly. Or for example, Ken Lewicki is one of the guest teachers. So, he's going to have his section there. And if people want to, do more work with Ken, they're going to have his, the contact info and everything. So then they can just reach out with him and say, hey, I want to learn more. I want to, work with you.
Have you taken Ken's courses at all?
Not yet.
No.
I've always had something going on.
It's funny because when you say, when you were talking about COVID made people sit in their shit, well, literally it was during COVID that I took Ken's courses right at the very beginning. It was in the summer, and my girlfriend had been following Ken and Kim for quite a while. And she had gone to a couple of their events. And she said this one day, oh, Ken's teaching channeling this weekend. And in my head, I went, no, we're busy. Oh, crap. We're not busy. We're trapped in the house. I don't have an excuse. And I took Ken's level 1 channeling. The rest, obviously, is history. I quickly took level 2, level 3, the 6-month mentorship with Ken. And now I do what I do because I love it. I should have been doing this a decade ago. Your school intrigues me. That is something that I think I'm going to say this industry, for lack of a better word, this industry really needed something like what you're about to offer. Ken just posted in the comments, I'm super stoked to be a guest speaker in Kim's mystery school. And he says mystery school, and then he spells school with 2 L's. I love you, Ken.
It's very exciting, and it's open for registration now. So I'll send you the link.
Send me the link, and I'm going to really promote the out of it, because
also there's an affiliate program with that. So anybody can be an affiliate, and basically for anybody who's interested in being affiliate, I create a special link for them to the school. For them to help promote it. And anybody who joins from their link, they get a 5% commission.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. So you could easily get your course paid for by referring people and having them join.
And you know what? For me, that's not important because, and I keep telling people, it's, if I wanted to get rich, I'd go sell a whole bunch more cars. That's what I do. That's what I actually do for a living. I do this as a passion, and because I honestly believe such a need for people like yourself, Kim. Thus, I do this show, and I believe that the more we promote each other, God damn it, society is going to be better.
Yeah.
It's
It's the law of giving and receiving, right? The more we give, the more we receive. So,
and I've proven
you
it
know.
over and over and over where I've done stuff and I'm like, all of a sudden I'll get 10 bookings in a row and I'm like, where did these people come from? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's giving, right?
Yeah, law of attraction. Giving and
Exactly.
receiving.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for coming on. This has been an absolute pleasure, and a shock. Because again, usually I know my guest a little bit better, so I'm able to. But this has been amazing. I bet we could delve into each one of your different ventures and spend an hour on each one. I might have you back on.
Yeah,
if that would be
absolutely.
okay
Anytime.
with you. Especially, I want to delve into the school, and I want to really delve into your retreats, because I think those two things alone
Absolutely.
warrant
And
more time.
for anybody who wants to join the retreat virtually, through TikTok and my Facebooks, I'll definitely be sharing a lot of videos of all the things we're going to be doing.
Oh, so we can live vicariously through you.
Nice. Yeah. So, look
so
for
you're
me
on
there,
all
follow
these social media. You've got this all figured out. TikTok. How do people find you on TikTok?
What am I on TikTok? Trying to remember all the handles for the different things. I think I'm just on there as Empowered Life.
Empowered Life.
With Kim Wilkinson.
Facebook.
Empowered Life with Kim Wilkinson.
Awesome.
And I have my personal one, Kim Wilkinson.
And then do you have Instagram and all those as well?
I do. Yeah. Empowered.life.coach.
Awesome. Kim, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your time. And to everybody else, thank you for tuning in. If you want to get a hold of Kim, she just gave you a list of ways to get a hold of her. Definitely check out this school, guys. $399 for a full year of study is... She's giving it away. It's yeah. And if you're the adventurous type and want to go out traveling, check her out. Check out this Thailand trip. It looks amazing. And until next week, I have a new guest. I will be posting about her. It's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to that as well. Till then, take care.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Okay, I'm just going to pop up there. People